Hi Scorpio, here is a general look at your solar chart for May 2015, and every year at this time the Sun comes into your opposite sign Taurus, and so this is not the time to be going it alone. Teaming up, making a dynamic duo, or maybe just teaming up with a series of others would be the better bet at this time. It's you and another could be finding that you are able to do business together, or you're just clicking in some way, but however it is for you, there's definitely a feeling of mutual interaction, or mutual compromise, or collaboration, or cooperation, or however it is. And also Mars is in that same area until the 12th as well, so Mars really fires it up. And one manifestation may be that you are getting tired out because of the demands of someone else, or because of their agenda, or because of their rules. But it might not be like that. It might simply mean that if you cooperate and collaborate, you can get an awful lot done. And you or someone could elicit strong opinions in each other as well, because Mars is rather sort of feisty, assertive, sometimes even aggressive energy, and can be rather impatient and hasty as well. So even though working with someone, or teaming up with someone, or bonding with someone can be very successful, you have to watch your step, that this Mars, fiery Mars energy does not get out of hand. And of course it might not be coming through you to the other, it might be coming from the other to you. So just try to keep your counsel. Don't have that knee-jerk reaction. Don't let anybody push a button, and you'll be absolutely fine. That's been going on since that's been going on since the beginning of April, as a matter of fact. So if you're listening to this in April sometime, after the middle of April, then you will maybe be able to tie this to certain events and experiences that you've had already. If not, then just kind of be aware. And then from the 12th, Mars moves out of there into a deeper sort of area. In fact, it's the deepest area of the chart. It's the area that is governed by your sign, Scorpio. But I'll come back to that in a moment. First of all, Mercury is in that area already, and so that means at this time you're probably holding quite a lot within, as if you didn't already. But this is a time when you should be paying attention to the omens, really, because this is a time for research. It's the time for drilling down to fundamentals. You know, what is this about? What's going on here? And getting to the nitty-gritty of it, whether it's to do with a holiday you're planning, a health problem, a serious relationship, or a business that might be feeling rather unstable to you at the moment. So the Mercury position over May will help this amazing, intuitive, psychic, detective mind of yours really drill right down to the bedrock of what is going on, because this is a very, very intuitive area. So it's like the planet of the mind, which is Mercury, can work very, very well, can team up very, very well with the area to do with the gut knowing. And then with the two of them together, you can become conscious of what, you know, what is the problem here? What is if there is a problem, or if there isn't a problem, it's like, okay, how can I improve on this? This is also an area to do with property, finances, but they're joint, shared. So there might be some things going on here to do with mutual interests in something which is jointly shared, or it might be to do with debts, and that might be due to you, which would be nice. but it might also be owed to you. So that kind of thing will be on your mind. Also, this is a very good time to not put all your cards on the table, to be like the fox, to be camouflaged in plain sight, to be kind of cunning, and to be strategic is the word, strategic. It all depends what this is about for you, but you can trust this gut knowing of yours, if it's just booking a holiday or if it's something far more fundamental and radical. It may be that you feel quite passionate about somebody or something, and those feelings go deep, and they may go deep on both sides as well. And it's like you can't get that thing or that person off your mind. So just trust your deeper instincts, and until the 8th, it can be that that is reciprocated. In fact, until the 8th, if you need to apply for funding, if you need to, if you're in the process of doing a deal, or you are scheduling maybe doing a deal which could be lucrative for you, if you're listening to this in April, try to do it before the 8th of May, because that position of Venus would have come in there by mid-April, around mid-April. But of course, you can find that out by listening to one of the astrologers. So this is in a place to do with other people's money, other people's property, other people's values, other people's morals. But also it can be to do with a relationship which that you're very passionate about, whether that is in a romantic sense or not. So Venus here could also mean that there's a relationship or somebody there that's supporting you materially, and that's up until the 8th, so that would have been from April. And negotiations can go in your favor with Venus there and Mercury there as well. Try not to do it, the negotiation thing, I would have said, in the first week of May, because that's when Mercury is going across Saturn and is opposite Saturn. You know, you could be feeling quite involved, quite sort of intense about this, being a Scorpio, but also this is the area of Scorpio as well. So you get the double whammy on that one. And also maybe try not to rush things over the whole of May, but the best time probably to take steps in that direction is going to be from the end of the first week onward, but before Mercury goes retrograde for 3 weeks from the 19th. So if you're waiting on something, or if you're hanging around waiting for a response, then that could be happening from the 19th onwards. You just feel as though there's a bit of a go slow, and this always happens when Mercury goes retrograde. So this is the time for you to get sorted out with joint finances, joint resources, bits of kit, property, equipment, shared space, a relationship, how you're going to sort of set up the space or the relation, you know, whatever it's about, or deeper issues between you and another, whether those are financial or romantic, or shall I say emotional issues as well. So it just takes longer to work through it, but because it's the time for the retrograde, then this is the time for you to be thorough and to take your time to work through whatever you want to work through. You may be champing at the bit, who knows, but this is just nature, and it goes slow sometimes. Right, so now Mars in the opposite sign, your opposite sign, Taurus, means that exchanges can be dynamic and quite lively. But you just got to make sure that you keep a cool head on your shoulders. Venus moves out of the place of emotional depth, which can be quite sizzly actually, and goes on into a far more extrovert area to do with people from far away, travel, transport, connecting with others in a friendly, warm sort of way. that are from a distance or at a distance to you, but also with people who have got specific specialities in their field, and then you pick their brains because that's the knowledge you need. Or maybe they have a skill which you need, but it could be the other way around. It could be people coming to you because they see you as the teacher, they see you as the one who's got the knowledge, they see you as the one who's got the skill. So it can be either way around. Venus is supportive in any of these areas, whether it's to do with travel, those at a distance, those who can teach, or you who can teach them. If you have to look into the legal side of things by any chance, again, the Venus energy here will tend to make it a more sociable experience rather than, you know, a chore that has to be done. And there could be, again, somebody there who's facilitating to you. And also anything that you want to put out on the bigger stage, it's a good time to do that with Venus there as well. And then the Sun, well, the Sun moves and moves out of the the opposite sign and then moves on into the same area that Mars is in. And Mars is clearing the deck for new beginnings from the 12th. Mars is helping you to let go in one sector and to maybe juggle things a bit in order to allow the resource, the space, the energy, the time for this other area. And so the sort of the penalty is having to let go of a previous plan, a previous expectation. Just that seems to be the key to getting this energy of regeneration, regrowth, recharging going. And whether it's a rethink, a detox, or a spring clean, this Mars position means coming up against pre-existing conditions, behaviors or requirements which provoke an inner shift and then an outer change. But the inner shift has to happen before the outer breakthrough can take place. And you are having to be aware of another's requirements, another's set of values, in a financial sense, but also in a moral sort of sense as well. And also with Mars energy here, you've got to be quite, or you'll want to keep certain things to yourself and not let on, because you're being more like the fox. The Sun comes into the same area, so adds more emphasis to that area. And transition will occur when, through mutual interaction with or challenge from another, your value structure and your instinct tells you what is the right way to go and what is the right thing to do. And so that's Mars in there from the 12th and Venus, the Sun in there from the 21st. Now, Mercury goes across Saturn in the first week, so there's a bit of a go slow there and you might have a heck of a lot on your mind. Mars also goes over Saturn at the beginning of the third week, which may drain your energy a little bit and make you feel a bit sort of slumpy. But these are very brief transits. The Sun does go across Saturn by opposition in the first half of the last week as well, which might mean that you are feeling a little bit more serious about things. It's not so much fun, you know, there's a bit more pressure on you. But the position of Jupiter in its aspect to Uranus is a good thing. But first of all, Saturn moved out of your sign on Christmas Eve, but actually is coming backwards now and will next month be back into your sign. But at the moment, still in your sector of finances, property, and the material physical side of life, is having this, the austerity of Saturn there. And so gradually this side of things comes together, takes shape, but you need to be routinely persevering and ready to because you're a fixed sign, you don't really like to let go of a previous sort of plan or intention, but maybe ready to tweak things at least in order to get you to where you want to go. Now, with Mercury's position this month, there might be some harsh questioning that you do to, you know, really find out from yourself, okay, at this stage in the game, what do I want? What do I really, really, really want? And the outcome of this in a material sense. And that material sense has got to be somehow or other tied to your inner desire, your inner identity, without the ego getting in the way. So be kind to yourself, encourage yourself, and don't take your eye off the ball, and make what you have work for you better. But you need to just work harder for it. And you Scorpios born the 24th to the 27th of October, or with 0 to 4 degrees rising, are going to feel that energy the most. Jupiter is at the top of your chart at the moment. That's up until August. And this is underpinning all your goals and your ambitions, as well as your general life direction, opening new doors for you, giving you new possibilities, and leading to your highest good and your worldly success. And you could be puzzling over which is the best way to go more than once during this transit. So that transit has been going on since last July, and weighing this up against that and that up against this, you know. But Jupiter will be there until August. But just now, it was in April, but also in May, and it will be again in June. There's a wonderful sizzly energy with Jupiter, which means that if you really push the envelope, if you really start to think outside of the box, if you really almost like reach into the higher frequency or into the higher possibility, or maybe into the higher knowledge, then maybe something will just land on your lap out of a clear blue sky. It might not be what you'd originally planned. Now, this transit is already going on over April anyway, so maybe it's already occurred to you or dawned on you. It is a bit like a dawning. Aha! That. But there's still more of this to come. So even though they're a bit further apart in May, then they will be coming closer together again, and therefore amping up the energy and making it more noticeable in June, particularly in the second half of June. That you could actually really and truly, this thing that maybe you quite liked before or you tried to do before, it might be a bit like that. You can actually start pushing forward with that now, or you get the plans together now. So with the position of Mercury this month, and also these rather introspective energies this month, you're not quite ready, but with Venus sort of breaking out, and then the Sun, the Sun coming in, that will be next month anyway. But Venus breaking out of that sort of rather inner sort of area, then you might be beginning to feel your way towards something, reaching towards something which is going to improve things for you, but maybe in an alternative way, maybe in a complementary way, maybe in a completely crazy off-piste sort of way. You don't know at the moment. But you just got to feel and sense your way towards it. You know, it's the feel-good factor. That's the compass. That's the true north. Am I feeling balanced and coming from my core when I think about this? When I think about the possibility of this, and now would be a time for you too, with Jupiter's position, particularly in this aspect with Uranus, to be thinking a little bit sort of outside of the box about the future and the direction, etc. And also the ways of achieving the goals that maybe you just, you know, we can get so obsessed, and your sign is a sign that can get very, very, very blinkered, just, you know, narrow focused, strong focus. It gets you a long way, but sometimes, especially with this sort of aspect, you've got to just let those scales fall from the sides of your eyes and see a bit wider around and go, ah, I didn't know all that was there. Ha, I could be tapping into that. So, okay, so there's an idea. So Scorpios, you Scorpios born 4th to the 9th of November, or with 12 to 17 degrees rising, will feel the Jupiter energy the most this month. And that's it for May. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, listen to those. And also, they'll give you a few different ideas maybe. And also, this is written up on my website. The basic stuff is written up on my website if you want to look something up. And I'll see you the next time.